which is a nothing but the database. So data warehouse, whenever you are building it, you can build on an Oracle database, or you can build that on any other database. Any other database you can build it. So you have so many databases, right? Oracle, SQL Server, Teradata, and so many other databases. You can choose any database as a data warehouse. You can choose any database as a data warehouse. So what happens is that for analysis purpose, we are going to integrate the data. We are going to integrate the data from existing systems into a centralized place, Let's say I have the data present in my SAP retail system. SAP retail is a system, and I have the credit card validation data which is present in my mainframe system, and I have a data which is available for an internet banking is available in some internet banking which is available in my SQL Server database. So internet banking application is running on the SQL Server database, and the mainframe application is running on the DB2 database, and this is running on the SAP system. So to do the analysis on each individual system, it is difficult to do an analysis. That's why what we do is that we actually integrate the data into a centralized place. So the process of integrating the data from different existing legacy systems and the different source systems is called as an ETL process. The process of integrating the data from all these systems into a centralized database is called as an ETL process. What is an ETL stands for? ETL stands for extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, and load. Extract, transform, and load. So you're going to extract the data from the source systems. Yeah, extraction is nothing but the reading of the data. How do you read the data from an application or from the tables or the database? By using the select statement. And you're going to transform the data. You're going to modify the data. So modify the data with the help of ETL tools, and then later it will load the data into data warehouse. So where you're loading the data into tables. That means you are inserting the data into tables. So you have so many. So this is called as an ETL process. ETL means extract, transform, and load. So you have so many ETL tools available in the market. Like you have so many tools available in the market. Like you have Informatica Power Center is one ETL tool, and you have Data Stage, which is one ETL tool, which will actually integrate the data from all these existing systems into your data warehouse. So when the ETL developers will integrate the data from the existing legacy systems into the data warehouse, so the job of an ETL tester is that they have to validate the data. What is being integrated from all these applications is properly integrated, and you need to assess the quality of data that is being loaded into the data warehouse as an ETL tester.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, definitely. Go ahead.
Can you go back to the other slide, please? Yeah, when you say we can integrate the data between different sources, right? Here we are talking about SAP, DB2, and SQL Server. Is it safe to assume that during this integration process, is it possible to integrate data between different databases? When I say different databases, I'm not just talking about relational databases. I'm talking about either it can be relational or hierarchical or network database. Like for instance, in the mainframe scenario that you mentioned, right? Let's say we have three mainframe systems here. One is relational, which is DB2. One is, let's say, network, which is IDMS, and the other one is, let's say, hierarchical IMS. And we also have SAP and SQL Server. Is it safe to assume that we can integrate all these sources into a centralized data warehouse, or is it only applicable for relational databases?
No, you can even integrate the data from mainframes directly, but you need to purchase a different license in case of Informatica. If you need to do that, you can do that.
I'm talking about whether it is applicable only for relational databases, or can it be?
It can be any type. It can be any type. You can even integrate the data from web services also. You can integrate the data directly from mainframes, legacy systems. You can integrate the data directly from SAP BW system. So all your ETL tools are intelligent enough to communicate with all these existing legacy systems. They have built in such a way to integrate the data even from these legacy systems, even though the data is not present in the relational DBMS.
Okay, so the ETL tools are smart enough to identify different forms of data, whether it can be flat file or any kind of data, right?
Yeah, so it can be a flat file. You can even read the data directly from the COBOL files. You can even read the data from XML files. You can read the data from PDF, unstructured data, and you can read the data even from an image. Suppose if you want to capture the content within the image, you can do that.
Okay.
And you can even integrate the data from social media like Facebook, and if you want to integrate the data from LinkedIn, any kind of a social media, you can even integrate the data.
So correct me if I'm wrong. So this kind of integration is done mainly to carry out some analysis for a business purpose, right?
Yes.
Is that why the data warehouse comes into picture?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's most of the time in order to assess your business health, in order to check how you are doing and how you have to improve and all these things. So for that reason only, we actually built a data warehouse, and the data warehouse is specifically built to improve your business by analyzing the data every day.
So it's not just the size. The data warehouse doesn't mean that it's a huge database or anything. It's mainly like a collection of data sources for business needs.
Yes, collection of data sources for a business need where they're going to analyze the data. Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you're done? Okay.
Yep, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so to actually what I was saying about you have a different ETL tools and which actually integrate the data from all these things to different things. So as an ETL tester, what we are going to do is that you are going to validate the data when it is being integrated. So ETL developers will develop the program which will extract the data. Let's say assume that there is a program which is being developed which will extract the data from employee table, and then it is loading into the table called as a employee underscore stage or something, employee underscore stage or something. So you're extracting the data from one source and then loading the data into another table called as an employee stage. So what you have to do as an ETL tester is that, so the amount of data that is being loaded and the quality of data that is being loaded, you need to assess it. So in such a way, you need to validate the structure of the table first and then validating the data inside it. So the data validations generally includes, so the first thing is about the count validation. So count validation in the sense, let's say I'm extracting the data from this and then loading the data into this employee stage. So I have to validate how many records are being extracted, how many records are available in my employee table, and how many are being loaded into my employee stage. So whether is my program has actually ignored any kind of records when it is loading the data. So the count validation will be done from this relational table to this. And this table, suppose let's say if this employee is not a relational table and you're actually reading the data from the flat file also, so you'll always validate the data between the sources and the targets which have been developed by the ETL developers. So the first and the thing is that the count validation. So you're going to do the count validation when you are integrating the data from one source to the other source. And also the next thing is about the validating of the duplicate records. Let's say while extracting the data, I have loaded the data into my target table. I have loaded the data into my target table, which has resulted in duplicate errors, or let's say I have a duplicate records which are present in my employee table, and my program has actually not eliminated that duplicate records. So you are going to validate the duplicate records present in the target table. Suppose let's say you have any duplicate records which are present in the target table, that also you're going to validate. So you're going to write a different test cases to validate the quality of data, and most importantly, you're going to do the data validation from field to field. means column to column. From each column in the source to the each column in the target, you are going to perform the data validation. Let's say I have a last name which is there, and this I'm actually loading to the name column in my target. So assume that you have something called as a Sachin Tendulkar in the last name, or Sachin, something like this. And for some reason, when I'm actually loading the data into my target table, when I do it, it has actually loaded only the first few characters because of some reason. It has loaded only SACH. It has ignored the last two characters and it has truncated it. So as a tester, I'm going to validate whether whatever the data that is present in the source is properly loaded, or it is truncated any records. This data validation generally will done by the minus querying. This minus querying is nothing but the operator which is allow in the SQL, which is in the SQL, which will allow you to validate the data between the source and the target, which will allow the data between the source and the target with respect to the every column present in the source to the every column present in the target. I mean, whatever the columns that you're loading, so you're going to even validate the data. And more importantly, other things are about the null validation. Suppose, let's say, when you're loading the data and the data is present in the source, but when you're loading the data into the target, for some reason, the value in the column is being loaded as a null value. So you're going to perform the null validation. So such kind of issues, so you need to identify as part of the functional testing. So basically in the ETL testing, again, your testing process is divided into so many types, and just like a manual testing process. So something like a smoke testing, so where you're going to identify the structure of, the tables are present or not, whether the mappings are present or not, ETL programs are existing in the UAT database or not, UAT repository or not, all those things you're going to do. And in the smoke testing, you're going to find out whether the target table is present or not, and target table is present. And the data model, you're going to validate the data model. So data model is not there, and the mapping or the ETL program is present in the environment, and the workflow, which is workflows and all those things. These are all the different other terminologies in Informatica which we are going to learn in the smoke testing. So when it comes to the functional testing, you need to validate the data model. You need to validate the data model, and the data model will be validated based upon the data model provided to you against the database tables. So in the functional testing, again, you're going to do the count validation, duplicate validation, data validation, and the null validation. So all these things you're going to do as part of this testing, functional testing. And also, you're also going to do some performance testing in terms of performance testing, in the sense you are going to assess the amount of time taken by your ETL programs, whether the ETL programs are actually completing in the permissible time limits or not, that you are going to validate, using the performance testing as well, And you're also going to do some kind of a regression testing in the cases like where you have a table which is present, and you're going to enhance the table. Which is present in the warehouse by adding the few columns, by removing the few columns. Then, so you're going to validate the regression testing on the enhanced tables to validate the data before the development and data after the development. So you're going to perform the regression testing on that. So all these kind of testings will be done by your ETL process. So to understand the ETL process, we are going to show you about the Informatica Power Center, how the Informatica Power Center can be used as an ETL tool, and how do you actually use an integration of a data. So once you actually load the data into the data warehouse, this can be analyzed with the help of reporting tools. So your reporting tools are nothing but your BI tools. Reporting tools are nothing but your BI tools, where your BI tools will generate the reports from the data warehouse and then represent the reports. So your business users will analyze the data through the reports. All your BI tools will generate the reports. So as a data warehousing tester, so you need to even validate whether the data present in the data warehouse is properly represented in the report or not, This process of validating the data present in the reports is called as a BI testing. BI testing is nothing but your business intelligence testing, where you're going to do both the testing in the data warehouse. One is the ETL testing and the BI testing. ETL testing and the BI testing, which will be done, and even in the BI testing you're going to do a similar kind of a manual testing. So we are going to show you the sample things, so how the OBIE can be tested when you actually generate the reports out of it, how the OBIE can be tested using this. So our process includes, like our course curriculum includes brushing up on the SQL side, and if you're already good with SQL, we'll directly merge you with a ETL testing batch, and BI and ETL testing with Informatica and the BI testing. So the course will include 3 modules. One is the SQL part, ETL testing, and the OBIE testing. So that is what we actually drive the course in such a way, and through artifacts, like we are going to share how the test plan, how the test cases can be written, how the sample test cases will be done. And in case if you want to explore more on the Informatica side, when you are actually working as an ETL tester, so we'll help you with the installation of Informatica on your PC, where you can access, you can explore more on this to understand about the ETL programs. So those are all the things that generally we cover, and these are the things that which will be covered as part of the course. And we are going to give you the SQL data warehousing concepts, how the ETL testing will be done, and how the Informatica can be used as an ETL tool, and how to test the how to test the Informatica programs, and how to test the reports through OBIE. So all these things will be discussed as part of the course, right? So
and
that is the, yeah.
As far as the software is concerned, do we get any software to practice?
Yes, if you want to practice, yes, you can practice all the software. We'll give you the Oracle database. We'll install the Oracle database and the Informatica, so you can practice on your own PC for practice of the
that
queries.
Informatica, will it be like some 15-day, 30-day trial, or how does it work?
It's a non-expiry license.
Okay, so it will even be helpful for us even after getting into a job for ETL testing.
Yes.
That is good. And how about the OBIE thing that you're talking about?
OBIE, we will not be installing it, but that's an, it's
but you're going to show how to create the reports and all that, right?
Not to create the reports, but we are going to show you how to test the created reports already, how to actually address the created reports, and how to validate the reports in that. So that we are going to show you.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. So once the ETL testing is complete, and then the reporting will come into picture, right?
Yes.
And you are going to show how to test such kind of reports that are created by OBIE or Cognos or something like that.
Yes. But we will not be installing the OBIE tool on your PCs, because it takes us more than 5 hours for installation of OBIE on the individual PC. And you need to have a very good RAM and very good hard disk space to install the OBIE. It's not, and like
even for Informatica, what is the recommended configuration?
Configuration is you need to have a 4 GB RAM, and it should be Windows 7. It should not be Windows 7 Basic. And
how about Windows 8?
Windows 8 works.
And the disk space?
Disk space minimum maybe 30 GB you require.
And just in case if we want OBI as well, will that be a problem?
No, it's actually, it will take us a time and it will takes an additional cost to actually implement that. That's the reason.
I see.
Uh, it takes us more than 4 to 5 hours to configure OBIE. OBIE is a huge software which is of 10, 12 GB software. If you're able to download and if you want us to install and then configure it, it will take minimum of 5 to 6 hours. So that's the reason. We'll take an additional cost for it if you want us to install it on your PC.
And this one, Karthik, this one, Informatica, and you also mentioned the data stage, right?
Yeah.
I mean, as an example, in the current market, based on your experience, which one is more popular?
Yeah, most of the time the Informatica is used 5 out of 10 projects, and other ETL tools are used as a data stage. Data stage, and you have OWB,
Right.
ODI,
I mean,
and
I
all
just
those.
heard the names. Like I said, since I never worked on them, I heard the names like Informatica, Data Stage, Teradata,
Yeah,
Tekson.
OWB, ODI, all those things.
Okay.
So 5 out of 10 projects will be of Informatica Power Center. You
Okay.
can, if you want to go in as an ETL tester. So the process is same, but the thing is the UI will be different. The way how it is functioning, the UI will be different. So
And
if you get
also,
to know Informatica Power Center, you can easily understand what is a data stage.
I see. And in the course curriculum, I think I have seen something like uh, you're going to explain things like star schema, snowflake
Yes,
schema,
yes,
and all.
those things as part of, yeah, star schema, snowflake schema. Once we actually understand through the SQL, we'll give you the backgrounds about the data warehouse, what is a data warehouse, and what are the dimension tables, fact tables. Everything will be discussed. Everything will be discussed in the class.
And how long does it generally take?
It will take minimum of 30 hours.
A minimum of 30 hours.
So if you're actually already good with an SQL and we have a batch running up on the ETL testing, maybe because this week is a holidays, people are going, and if you want us to join from the next weekend, Wednesday, and we can merge you with that batch and then discuss about the ETL testing directly. And so if you already know the SQL part, if you have, you need to brush up even on the SQL, then we have to start it from the scratch.
And is it possible to do it like a couple of hours in each session and make it a little faster?
I missed your last word, a couple of hours, and
I mean, complete the course curriculum in a fast manner.
but we have to check it out our schedule, and then you just let us know your availability, what time you'll be available, and based on that we'll let you know that.
I mean, the reason why I'm asking is like, it will be difficult for me, like, if I want to go ahead with this, it will be difficult for me to, do this every day for 40 days. That's what I'm
Okay.
trying to say. Let's say I'm just, trying to grab an example from the air. Let's say if I want to complete this course in some, 15 days or something like that, will that be possible?
Yeah, we'll discuss on that. Maybe you can get in touch with the people from the Attain Technologies, and then based on that we'll fix the schedule. If you could give us the schedule priorly based on our commitments. We have some pre-engagements, so we'll check that, and if it can accommodate, we'll let you know. Maybe we can complete in the 15 days or something. We'll let you
And
know.
as far as the total curriculum is concerned, right, will it be done by only one particular instructor, or the instructor keeps changing?
No, the same instructor will be doing it.
Okay.
Same instructor will be doing it.
So whatever content that I'm seeing on the website, all those things will be covered, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, actually, some of those things are, like you said, it may not be suitable for everybody, but based on your point of view, you included everything like what is what call model and all that. So
Yeah. That's
because not
those
even
things
not.
like a,
I think it's.
yeah.
I think the course content is meant for general public. It may
Yes.
vary from person to person.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than SQL, are there any other things that a person should be knowing as a prerequisite to get
No,
into
only SQL.
Informatica, any kind of ETL tool? Just
No. We are
SQL?
going to show you how the Informatica tool works as part of the process, and SQL is only the prerequisite. And if you have to even do the SQL, like we'll do the SQL and then go with the ETL testing process.
And without the SQL, how much time it will take?
Without SQL, if you have to do it, it will take 20 hours or 15 to 20 hours in between that.
Then you said there is some batch starting next week or this week?
We are actually working on the data warehousing concepts for them. So if you have to merge with that batch, that batch will start from next Wednesday. And if you have to merge with that, so we'll cover all those data warehousing concepts separately for you, and then we'll merge you with that batch.
Okay, so next Wednesday, which is December 4th, right?
Yes. And from there, it will be 15 days. And we can probably increase the timings, and then see.
Yeah, basically like, on weekdays, 1 hour, spending 1 hour should be okay, but on weekends, if it is possible, then, probably I can spend more than 1 hour based on my schedule. But anyway,
Sure then.
let me think about it. The way you explained, I kind of like it. Let me think about it. Is there anything else that you want to?
You can drop your feedback and then.
For the demo session, do you have anything else to cover?
No.
Okay. So you are done from your side, right?
Yes.
So you guys work like in a specific company there in real time?
Yes, I'm a part-time consultant for Attain Technologies, and they are a company for that.
Okay. So you have real-time experience with Informatica too?
Yes. I've been having close to 7 years. I'm sorry that I didn't introduce myself.
Yeah.
7 years into Informatica and OBI.
Okay. And as far as the resume preparation is concerned, once the course is done, in order to jot down some points related to ETL testing or
We'll give you the sample resumes and the roles and responsibilities and the projects, everything. We'll share with you.
Okay, that way we can cook that stuff into my resume and market myself, right?
Yes, sure.
All right, Karthik. Thank you so much for the information and your time. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. You can drop your feedback to the guys and then let them know about your.
Yeah. Anyway, I think Babita is going to give me a call after this, either today or tomorrow. I'll talk to her as well.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Then we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you.